Today we're going to talk about how to talk effortlessly in another language. I have some notes in front of me here. It's a presentation that I've made in a draft format. It's a draft, probably first or second draft. This video is going to be split into two halves. The first half are concepts that I feel very confident about. The second half are just some ideas that I'm playing with that I think are good, but I still need to hash out a little bit more. So, how to speak effortlessly. The tentative title that I have for this presentation is either Situational Fluency or Topic Mastery. I don't know which one I'll pick. It's one of the two. Well, I found that a lot of people when they're learning languages, there are topics that they care about more than others. There are some things that they want to be able to talk about very well, that they care deeply about. For example, I was talking to a student the other day, a Calgary language nerd student, and really the main thing she wants to be able to do as quickly as possible is small talk. She wants to talk about what she did in the day, upcoming plans, her work, and her family. Those are the four main topics. She's like, if I can talk about those four things pretty fluently, I'm going to feel pretty good. I want to make small talk. That matters to me way more than everything else. So for her, if we were to focus on situational fluency or topic mastery, we're going to pick those four topics and help her master those four topics as quickly as possible. So a question you want to ask yourself is this, right? How do you figure out what topics matter to you? Well, you want to imagine yourself fast forwarding into the future. You're looking back on your language learning journey. So pretend you're in the future, look back on your language learning journey, and ask yourself, what would make you pleased with your progress? Like, are you speaking fluently? Are you conversational? Have you learned some basics? Like, why would you be happy? What would you be happy with 2 years later that, wow, look at me now? What would make you proud of yourself? Maybe you'll say, I can speak fluently. That's a common answer. That's one thing someone told me. So then you want to ask yourself, well, how do you know you can speak fluently? What does that mean? What are some benchmarks? And so again, the benchmarks this one student told me was, well, she wants to talk about what she did in the day, upcoming plans, her work, and her family. Those are the four main topics. So you'll have some topics that come up. Then focus all your attention on getting good at those topics. So that's what situational fluency means. Pick topics that matter to you. Focus the vast majority of your study, time, attention, money, everything on getting good at those four topics or whatever number of topics, right? You want to limit the number of topics to a very small number if you can and focus all your attention on that. And you'll get situationally fluent or you'll get topic mastery. So this is what I feel very confident about so far. There are some concepts that I'm still thinking about and I'm trying to hash out. One of these concepts is called a social script. A social script or social stories. I think there's two terms for it. I'm trying to wrap my head around what they are exactly, but here's my understanding of them so far. A social script tells you how to behave in a particular social situation. For example, when you go to a business meeting, there's a certain distance you sit away from the person, right? You look them in the eye, you wear certain clothes, you talk in a certain way. A lot of this is unconscious for many people. So that's like a social script. So for languages, you can also have social scripts, I think. So if you want to be situationally fluent, I think you'll need a social script with the situation that you want to be good at. You want to be great at small talk? Well, you probably need a small talk social script to follow. Now, careful. A social script is not a role play in a textbook. Role plays have person one says blah, 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 blah. Person two replies with blah, 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 blah. You just read it out. A little bit different. The social script tells you what to do in a specific scenario. So you walk into a taxi and the taxi driver is going to ask you where to go or where do you want to go? You don't know what words he's going to use. He might say, where do you want to go? He says, where am I taking you today? He might say, what's your final destination? Well, who knows what he's going to say? But you do know he'll say, where do you want to go? Some form of that. So social scripts help you prepare for situations, not for specific sentences that someone might say. So I think a social script probably has to come into play here. The other concept I'm working on is immersion plus focus. I think immersion plus focus leads to fast topic mastery. You're trying to get good at one topic. The more immersively you study that one topic, the faster you're probably going to get good at that one topic. I think that mastery of one topic probably has a halo effect. Probably. Actually, it does. Mastery of one topic has a halo effect. You get really good at one topic, that will help you in other topics too. So there is a halo effect. I think there's probably 3 ways to implement this topic mastery formula. There's probably 3 ways. 4 ways, actually. One is not very intensive, and this is where you just, however you're studying, 1 hour a week, 5 hours a week, whatever you're doing, focus all your attention, most of your attention, if not all, on trying to get good at a very small number of topics, a select number of topics. It doesn't have to be intensive. The other 3 ways to implement it, I think, are intensive. You can do an intensive self-study. You can do intensive private lessons. So like 1 or more hours of lessons a day, all on one topic, or you can do an intensive all-day classes or all-day experiences. Doesn't have really have to be a class, but you do these intensive 8, 9, 10-hour days, all focused on one topic or 2 topics or 3 topics, a very limited number of topics. I'm trying to hash these ideas out a little bit more, but the intensive ones would lead to fast topic mastery. You can get really good at a select number of topics really fast if you can carve out a little bit of time in your schedule to study it intensively. So I'm working on some stuff on that in that respect as well. A final few concepts that I've been working on. I think when you're focusing on a very small number of topics, you have to vary the ways that you work on those topics. You have to keep it interesting. And if you only practice certain topics in one way, I think it gets boring. And if you're bored, you're not learning. So you have to vary the ways that you practice that one topic. That's also an idea I'm working with. That's about all I've got as of right now. Again, this is a draft. I'm working on this. But to wrap it up, I think that when people say they want to be fluent, yes, they want to be fluent and be able to talk about anything hypothetically, but out of anything, there's like 5 things you care about more than everything else that you'll use far more frequently than everything else. So what I'm thinking is, for some people, it'll make sense to focus the vast majority of your practice efforts on that limited number of topics and get really good at those. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to contact me by visiting the link in the episode description box. It's azrenthelanguagenerd.com/contact. Let me know what you thought. Have a great day. We'll chat later. See ya.